guys, I am the Sandy portion of Debbie Sandy Design Co. and this week is Christmas Craft Kickoff Week at Debbie Sandy Design Co. When you jump on, please tell me good morning. I hope you've got your coffee or your tea or whatever your beverage of choice is for the morning. And we're going to be making rag trees today. Give me just a second so I can get it pulled up over here, so hopefully I can see the comments. There we go. I think we've got it. Good morning, Miss Jennifer. Hey, how are you doing? Glad you're on here. So let me tell you what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making rag trees, and I am using the Dollar Tree Christmas tree. You can see I've already started just a little bit. I've randomly cut just some scrap fabric and some ribbon that I had left over. That's why I tell you to save everything. I've got some burlap and some lace, a little olive bucket. I've got some styrofoam to go down in here because we're not going to be using the base that the tree comes with. We're going to be using this as our base. Of course, I've got scissors, my rotary cutters, and some pliers. Because the first thing I want to show you is if you have scrap ribbon laying around, like I always do, I'm going to show you if you're using wired ribbon, you can take the wire out. It's really simple. And also, when you take the wire out, you want to save it, because if you get some really gorgeous ribbon that's not wired, you can wire your own. So all I'm doing, and I don't know that you can see it, is I'm pushing it down so that wire is exposed, and then I'm just going to grab it, and it really is as simple as this. We're just going to pull it out. And now my ribbon, we've got to do the other side, is unwired ribbon. Now if you have ribbon that's not wired and you want to use this, it's just like a simple straight stitch, running it through your ribbon, and then you've got your own wired ribbon. Good morning, everybody. Let me see. It's not showing over here. Hello, Miss Liz and Sharon and Annette. Okay, so I'm going to lay this aside, clear out some space, and we're going to bring our tree over. So like I said, your tree will come with one of these little plastic stands, but it's really simple to just work that off. I'm going to leave it on it while we're working on it, and then we're going to move it over to this and use this as our stand. Y'all, this should be super simple. It's just tying pieces of fabric to your tree. This is a part of a bandana that I had cut up to use for something else, and we're going to start at the bottom up as close to the base of the tree as we can get. I'm not even tying a knot, I'm just tying it once. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Estelle. I'm just tying a knot, and then I'm going to push it up. And we're not going to worry about it being even. What we are going to worry about is once you get it tied on, we want both of the tails to go to opposite sides of the tree. And then we're just going to work our way around. So I've got some cute little ticking that I have just cut apart. And I just want to make sure that I'm getting the base of it as full as I can, because that's what's going to help us with our shape. And I know that this part may be a bit boring for y'all, but stay tuned because it's going to turn out super, super cute. Okay, I'm going to use a piece of that ribbon that I just pulled the wire off of, and just keep working around, and then we will start moving up. And I want to get all of the center post of the tree covered before I start working with the branches. I do want some of the branches to show, but not all of them. So if you have a raggedy piece like this that I didn't cut very well, Put that on the bottom because we're going to cover that up. You can use any colors, any fabrics that you want. I'm just going with something to match my decor. This is going in my kitchen window because I'm probably going to want to leave this up all year round. I think I can get one more down there. So I'm going to use a piece of burlap. And for the burlap, I will show you what I've got.
Grace Bruno Kurtz wants to know what you're making.
Grace, I am making a rag tree. So for my burlap strips, I just got some of this, I think it's 6 or 8 inch burlap ribbon. It is not wired, and I cut it into like 1 inch strips, and that's what I'm using for that. Y'all, I have so many different types of fabric. Look at this. This is a wired ribbon. I took the wire out of it. It looks like birch bark, and I think that would be perfect on here. I've already got one piece on here, but I'm going to put another piece. I'm going to go up higher with this one. The hardest part's working through these branches. I would suggest not fluffing all of the branches out until you get your ribbon and work in layers. It will make it easier. But I didn't think of it before now. Hey, I appreciate everybody being on with me this morning. This ribbon is a little bit stiffer, so it's going to stick out further, which is fine. Now I'll go in here. That's going to help us get our shape too. So this week at Debbie Sandy Design Co. is, like I said, Christmas Craft Kickoff Week. So every morning you will have either Debbie or I, and then at 2 in the afternoon you'll have the other one. And then starting tonight we have guest crafters in the evenings at 6. All right here on the Debbie Sandy Design Co. page. You don't want to miss any of it. So far, I'm trying to think. Debbie has made Christmas tree ornaments. On Monday, I made fudge. 3 ingredient, 5-minute fudge. Yesterday with Bougie Rebels, we did ornaments. I did felt pine cones. Alright, I'm adding in a little bit of lace. So all we're doing right now is we're getting our base set, and then we can start working on the limbs wherever we need to. I'm going to turn it around so I can see the back side and you can see the front side and you can see what we're doing. I need this, some burlap. So don't throw your fabric scraps away. Don't throw your ribbon scraps away. I have a plastic storage container, just kind of like Tupperware, except mine is rectangular, that I drop all of my scraps in, and that way when I start on something like this, especially if I just need to fill up the center of it, I can go grab that and I have a lot to work with. I want to do some of the big buffalo check here. And you also want to be sure that you're working different sides of this, so we're getting it all filled in. This is going to be so cute. I have seen rag trees made out of tomato cages, and honestly, y'all, I'm going to try it. I love anything that is primitive, rustic, country, you name it, that is so me. All right, we're going to start working up here, and then we're going to start working on the limbs. So you can find these trees at Dollar Tree. My Dollar Tree has them out now. I have bought a ton of them, so y'all be watching for lots of ideas on how to use these. I'm going to raise that up a little bit. So most of my decor is black and white. I like to use colors as my accent. Y'all know my favorite color is sandy teal. So we will have some sandy teal in this. I'm looking for my fabric that has it in it. I know I cut some. Well, I've got some shorter pieces that I'll use at the top. And there's no rhyme or reason to how I'm tying this on. I am just getting it filled in and getting it on here. So what is everybody working on today? Let me know that. And also, let me know where you get your inspiration from. Do you mostly go to Pinterest or watching videos like these? YouTube, TikTok? I've been watching a lot of TikTok lately. And there are some really good DIYers on there.
Linda Owen said finishing up fall decor for her front deck.
Oh, that's cool, Melinda. I've started on my front porch, but I've got to find time to finish it. And then it seems like you get fall up for about 10 minutes, and then it's time to take it down and do Christmas. And I love fall. I don't think we leave it up long enough. But if you ask Debbie, she would say, I wanted to start working on fall in June. Oh, hey, from Australia. Welcome, welcome. If you all are new to the page, I am the Sandy portion of Debbie Sandy Design Co. We like to inspire you to give your home an upscale look on a budget. We also like to inspire you to step out of the box and try something new.
Cindy Childers said she gets her inspiration from magazines, stores, and videos.
I love magazines. I could look at magazines for hours. So as I'm tying these on, I am just trying to space them out evenly. And if we need to, we can always go back in and trim the length if we need to help with the shape. I don't know if we're going to need to or not, because I kind of like it raggedy looking. And, oh, your fall fabric strips? It would. They do have these trees in green. I bought a lot of those too. But for this, I wanted to use white because I'm using black and white and neutrals. And now I think I can show you where I'm going to bring in my pop of color. So you will recognize this fabric. I've used it a ton. Thank you, Miss Kathy. And this is what I'm going to use for my pop of color. So I will just get a hint of that in here. And we're going to keep working our way around.
Tarita Johnson said, how do you find your DIY people to follow on TikTok?
Just do a search for hashtag DIY. There are a ton of them, and once you start following one or two, then TikTok will start putting other crafters in your news feed. I keep telling Debbie that we need to start doing TikTok, but I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Elaine McLean wanted to know how many strips you're tying in each section.
Elaine, I think I have about 6 on the very bottom, and then probably about 5 each on the rest of it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it to figure out how full I need it. And on this one I may have 6 on it because I want to add another strip of the colors. I think this is my favorite fabric of all time. It's the little farm animals, and it's like chicken wire in the background, and it has everything I love on it. So we have a cow pasture right behind the house. They're not our cows, although I do claim them. And it has 2 donkeys. And Brian and I can sit out there for hours and just watch the cows and the donkeys. We've got one more section to go, and we're going to start working on the limbs. So the black and white check that I'm using right now and the farm animal fabric you all may recognize from the tuffets that Debbie and I did on Bougie Rebels a couple of months ago. We did bar stools to look like tuffets, and these are the 2 fabrics that we used on those. And then I used the same 2 fabrics for my stool in here. One of my dogs is barking, sorry. Hey, they're dogs, that's what they do.
Cindy Childers said she has 3 mini horses. Watch them all day.
I would love to have mini horses. I would love to have anything. Y'all, I'm an animal lover. Let's see, I want to do some shorter ones up here, so I'm going to go back to the colored fabric and do a couple of those at the very top. Is anybody else getting ready for Christmas yet? It's not far off. If you're a crafter, I'm sure you're already thinking about it.
Elaine McLean says she hopped on late. A reminder what length the strips are.
They're just random. They range anywhere from 22 to 15 is what I cut them, because I knew that I needed twice the length because I'm just tying them on, and I want them to be rather even. And I'm going to hold this up now and show you what we've got. So far, kind of looks like a hot mess, but we're going to fix it because we're going to also be working on the limbs. And I want to do a bow at the top. So the very top piece is really flexible. So I'm just going to kind of bend it over. And y'all, I have to tie this facing me because I cannot do it upside down and backwards. And I don't know that this one's going to be long enough.
Tammy said, love the wreath behind you. Did you do a live for that?
Tammy, actually, I'm going to be offering a class for that. So if you are interested, I'll get it down in just a second and show it to you. If you're interested in that class, you can just let me know. And also let me know if you want just the class or if you want the class and the kit. But if you will message me, I'll give you all the details. Okay. So I just bent that over the center and just did a really rustic little bow. And I feel like, do y'all feel like we need more lace? I do. So I'm going to start working on the limbs. And all I'm doing is I'm going to pull one up that we're going to be working on. And I'm going to take my lace and I'm going to go in as far as I can because I still want the limbs to show. And we're going to be doing the same thing. We're just going to be tying some off. Okay, Tammy, I will send that to you this afternoon. And now all I'm going to do is I am just going to go around, and anywhere that I feel like it needs a little something, we're going to add to. And if I want to, I can use some of the wider ribbon and cut it into thinner strips. Because on the limbs, because they're so thin at the base, it might be easier to use thinner strips. This is cute. And as I get to the top, I have my strips separated into two lengths, long and short. So you'll notice that I'm working from both sides of the table. I have the long ones over here and the short ones over here.
Tony McGee said she's going to try this on her small tree this year.
Oh, great. Hey, send me a picture when you do, please. I love to see what you all create. It inspires me. You have no idea how much you all inspire me. And we're just going to keep working and adding wherever we think we need it. And we're going to have this finished in no time flat.
Debbie said, so you're using fabric and ribbon?
Yes. I'm using fabric and ribbon and lace. I've got a couple of bandanas. I've got a white bandana and a black bandana that I'm also using. Just anything that you can find that matches your decor. You could also, once you get your strips cut, you could throw these in the washer and get them to fray more. Don't put the burlap in the washer. Trust me on that. Okay. I need a couple more pieces over here. What do I need?
Terry Osborne wanted to know the length of the strips.
Terry, they vary anywhere from 15 to 22 inches. I was not real careful on the length or the width. I tried to keep them all around an inch, but honestly, some of them are an inch, some of them are less, some of them are more. I'm going to try one piece of this. I may need to cut this in half lengthwise. This is the wide black and white ribbon. We're going to see if I can get it tied around a branch. I wanted some of the branches still peeking through so you could see what we had used for the base. Just a couple of more spots. Now this ribbon is thicker, it's more like canvas, so I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to try it. We're going to go for it. It may be a little too bulky. But I think this is going to satisfy my primitive craving, my country craving, my little bit of everything. Y'all know I'm not normal. I can't do the typical red and green, everything perfect. I just have a couple of more spots and we can fluff it out and see where we're at. I also love to make things that are super simple. I like to make things that are interchangeable or can be used year-round. Okay, I'm going to start fluffing. I want some more burlap right here.
Terry Osborne said sent stars.
Thank you, Miss Terry. We appreciate the stars. We really, 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 really do. And I'm sorry I'm not looking up at the comments very much, y'all. Please know that I do go back and I read all of them. I respond to as many as I possibly can. See if we've got any holes anywhere. Right here's a couple. Debbie will be on today at 2. I have no idea what she's working on today. And then tonight at 6, we have Miss Sheila as a special guest from Simply Simple Creations by Sheila. We're so excited to have her. She's one of my craft crushes. This one's not wanting to cooperate. Okay. Now I'm going to take the base off because, like I said, it comes with this little plastic base, but we're going to take it off and we're going to use our olive bucket that we just put the styrofoam down in. Now I have to find it. And we are just going to stick this down in here. There we go. Now it does cover up the olive bucket for the most part. We could go in and trim this up. We could even trim these at the top that are longer. I've got a bare spot right here. It's going to kill me, y'all. I've got to fill this in. But I kind of like it raggy looking. Excuse me just a second because I cannot handle this bare spot.
Tony McGee said, I love Sheila too. She lives an hour from me. She's an inspiration for her too.
She lives an hour from you? You're so lucky.
Hi, Estelle.
Thank you, Miss Liz. I hadn't seen rag trees until like the last couple of years, and I agree. They're awesome. They're different. Now, I am going to tell you, when you're trying to tie lace onto the limbs, the lace wants to stick to it, so it makes it a little bit awkward. Okay, let's see. Now, there, that feels better. Okay. I probably will go in and trim up the bottom. Actually, let's go ahead and do that while I've got my scissors here. And again, I'm not going to be real neat about it because we want it to have that country look, more primitive. I wouldn't exactly call this primitive, but not quite so neat and tidy. Oh yeah, trimming the bottom is going to make all the difference in the world. And again, I'm probably going to end up saving even the little scraps, because when you decoupage with fabric, you always need little scraps to fill in. We had someone ask yesterday about tips for storing crafts and craft supplies. We will be doing an episode next week with our best storage tips, so be watching for that. Ooh, have a straggler. Okay, there we go. I love it. This is going in my kitchen, in my breakfast area, so it all coordinates. And there you go. It's that easy. Go in, trim up the longer pieces if you want to. I'm going to do that on some of them up shorter, just so we can have more of a tree shape. Get this done really quick and then I'll let y'all go. I really appreciate y'all joining me today. Again, I am Sandy with Debbie Sandy Design Co. Don't forget to jump onto the Debbie Sandy Design Co. Facebook page at 2 and watch Debbie, and then come back at 6 Eastern for Miss Sheila. She's fantastic. And then Debbie will be back on tomorrow morning, and I will be tomorrow afternoon at 2. Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.